My ear hurts right now.
This time in this video, I actually have a bottle of water, and yes, I know, it's bottled water.
The world's gonna end.
Hey, I need to get something after the last video, if I'm being completely honest. This is probably gonna save my life in this video. What's up, everybody? My name's Danny, and welcome back to a brand new video. According to the CCRC, which is the Community College Research Center, nearly 32% of new high school graduates in the year 2019 decided to go the community college route than going the traditional four-year institution route. And basically, with the increase in traditional tuition for four-year schools, as well as the percentage of inflation increasing every single year, I personally found myself at community college for the last, I would say, 2 years, and I was actually able to both save literally thousands and thousands of dollars, as well as graduate within the span of 2 years with my actual associate's degree. And basically, I'm going to break down 3 and possibly even 4 different steps in this video. The first one is what community college actually is, both definition wise, why I personally went through the community college route rather than going to a traditional four-year institution, both highlighting the advantages as well as the disadvantages of going the community college route, and something that I hold really dear to my heart, and that's smashing the like button and subscribing
so that I can possibly go to Chipotle this week so I can get some extra guac from my actual burrito.
But basically, with that out the way, let's get right into the video. So basically, what is community college? By definition, according to the Oxford Dictionary, as well as many different Google searches and Google definitions that I actually looked up
for this video,
it's basically defined as a junior college that offers sort of the same amount of courses that a traditional four-year school requires for both freshmen and sophomores as well. But my personal definition of what a community college is a state-sponsored school, technically, that you can find within the span of, I would say, 20 to 30 minutes outside of where you actually live, in a place where you can actually commute or you can actually stay locally, or it's not so far or not so close from home, both depending on the certain circumstances that you're put in life. I personally believe that the conception of community college has definitely changed between the last 20 to 30 years, even before I've been born, because I remember when I used to talk to my parents all the time, they used to say literally people that plan to go nowhere in life go to community college, or people that go to junior college or go straight into the workforce basically don't have a set structure that they have in life, or they don't know what they're doing in the next steps after they actually graduate. And that sort of misconception has actually changed within the span of literally 10 years, and even less than 5 years breaking out. There are actually a lot of people that I personally know that go to both the community college that I personally graduated from, as well as other local community college in different counties that are surrounding my actual town. So basically, why did I personally go to community college? And this is actually going to be the biggest breakdown of this video. I actually did write this down because this is actually a grueling sort of portion of the video. Okay, so why didn't I go to a traditional four-year school? I would say literally this is in part with having low grades. So literally when I was in high school, I basically applied to every single institution or every single state institution that I actually live in. What I did, I basically did about, I would say, half a dozen to about a dozen applications for each and every single school, both public as well as private. And literally I went on as many tours as I can of colleges and universities, both literally a 5 to 10 minute drive up my street to literally about 2 to 3 hours in the next couple counties, either north or east. So basically what happened, I took my SATs. I really didn't even get that well on SATs. I probably got less than 1,000 if I can actually remember. It really wasn't that beneficial in my actual college career because literally I can't remember what my SAT scores were. That's how irrelevant it is to this actual story. The main reason why I'm actually bringing it up is because I did score low on the SATs, and as well as having a literally below average GPA. When I actually graduated from high school, I remember when I applied to schools, I had probably a 2.5 GPA, maybe even lower. I probably even had a 2.3 or 2.2. I remember sometimes I would have a 2.1 GPA, and I used to see all my friends getting literally straight A's, and I used to always beat myself up. It took me a long time to realize that it had nothing to do with look smart or trying as hard as they would. It's just I really didn't drive myself to do the actual work, and I basically never put any effort into the actual schoolwork that I did or I was given on a daily basis. That really did reflect on my grades a lot. Because of that, I only got into literally 2 schools. One school, which was an HBCU, and they literally accepted me on the spot literally within a 3-week span, and that's actually the school that I go to now. One which is up north, and it was a private school, and I love it. I still support their rugby team. I still support them completely 100%. even though I'm not personally a student at their school. The main reason why I didn't go was because the tuition was literally probably
triple the amount that I make in a single year.
So that's the main reason why I didn't go to that school. Fun fact, I actually did go to that school for coaching. I went to that school for literally summer camps. I visited the chapels there. I wasn't able to go to that school because one, I didn't have that many scholarships, and two, literally it was about triple the amount of tuition that I was able to afford. Even now, it's probably even 5 or 6 times more than when I actually applied to the school at first. And I did go back to that school when I transferred, but it was literally, I would say I was making probably double the amount of money that I actually made the first time I actually applied, but literally it was still about 2 or 3 times more than what I personally made in a single year. So with that out the way, I basically went to community college. Fun fact, literally all the community colleges, and I'm pretty sure this is for every single state, literally if you just apply and you just give them your GPA or your SAT scores, they'll literally accept you in a second. The basic need for students for a community college is at a staggering height. And I personally believe that this is probably one of the most cost-effective routes if you actually want to get a higher education in life. So basically, with that being said, I applied to 2 community colleges. It was literally one that was a county over and another that was in the actual same county that I live in the state that I actually live in. And basically what I did the pros and cons for each and every single one of the community colleges that I applied to. I actually applied to 3, surprisingly, and I got into all 3. One was about a 5 to 10 minute drive, and it was probably even a 20-minute walk. Another one was about a 20-minute drive and about, I would say, an hour commute. And another one was literally about, I would say, a 30-minute drive, which is basically how long it would take me to get to an actual 4-year school that I actually applied to, and about an hour to an hour and a half commute, basically. I did the pros and cons, and I did the county that was basically in the middle, where it was not that long of a commute, but I was still able to get a better education than the actual community college in my county, as well as not going as far as the county that I applied to that was about a half-hour drive away. So with that being said, I applied to that community college. I basically got in. I did the actual testing or core testing, whatever they like to call it nowadays, and then I went to an advisor. They gave me my set list of courses and classes for that semester, as well as preparing myself for the spring semester and the winter semester. And basically what I did, I started, and literally through trial and error, I'll probably get to this in a future video, but even though I failed probably a couple semesters in my freshman year, I was still able to actually graduate through both
illness
as well as failing literally my first year of college. I actually do not know how I was actually able to do that without having a mental breakdown. I'm honestly surprised at how I'm still able to talk about that, knowing that people that are probably double my age and people that are also my same age that are still at community college, and I was actually able to do this route within literally the required 2 years that people tell you to get your associate's degree at. And currently I'm actually at my desired school. I really did not want to go to it, but in all honesty, I love the professors. I love the actual atmosphere of it. I love basically everything about it. I really did not see that the first and the second time that I actually applied to the school. I said that that was going to be my savior school. I literally applied to every single school that I could possibly imagine that was both in-state and out-of-state, both north and south of America. Literally, it was actually the golden ticket school because literally it was the cheapest as well as being the most affordable and cost-effective, and it had probably the best standing for any of the HBCUs that are in my actual state, with the exception of the private schools that I actually applied to as well. But with that being said, this is sort of the advantages and disadvantages portion of the actual video. The first thing I'm actually going to go over is the actual advantages. So what are the basic advantages of going to community college? The first advantage that I really think is beneficial to going to community college is making sure that you drop a like and make sure you subscribe so you can get future videos and future content, so that I can actually feed my guac addiction at Chipotle.
Oh my god, I can't believe this is actually working, and it just rolled off the tongue like that.
That's what she said.
But for real, for the first advantage is actually cost. I basically took the same workload as many of my friends actually took at a traditional 4-year school. And the basic advantage that I would say is that both I commuted, I stayed at home, and literally the tuition was, I would say, between 1/3 and 1/4 of the actual traditional 4-year school that are actually in my personal state. And from literally joining clubs, gaining scholarships, both for transfer students, because of all the grants and all the scholarships that I actually got from the school, I was able to both get reimbursed for all the actual payments that I made, and I was able to have a good financial support from both my family as well as the school and the clubs that I actually applied to. And literally with no overhanging types of loan debt or taking out any sort of direct or subsidized or unsubsidized loans, I was able to both afford community college as well as graduate within 2 years with literally zero types of debt in my personal name. I literally had no overhead costs. I was able to cut my cost literally in half by just staying at home and basically going to community college. The extra $10,000 to $12,000 that traditional four-year schools use for room and board, that cost was literally cut out of my budget, and I literally saved between $20,000 to $30,000 literally just in possible room and board cost, as well as the tuition being literally about $2,000 to $3,000 every single year. The second advantage, and possibly a disadvantage I'm going to talk about later in the video, is that you're actually able to have a good support system, and this is all dependent on both your support system or who supports you, basically, whether that be your family, whether that be your friends, whether that be a counselor, whether that be literally anybody. I had so many great support systems when I was actually at community college. I was actually able to stay with my family. I was literally able to benefit from both the people that helped me financially as well as people that helped me both in my personal life as well. Friends supported me, family supported me, counselors supported me, my coaches supported me. Literally everybody helped me in some way, shape, or form within the span of 2 years. Even people that I don't talk to nowadays that I talk to almost every single day in community college literally helped me to shape who I basically am today. Going towards disadvantages, and this is actually going to be a double-edged sword when I actually talk about it, is basically family as well. I basically try to talk about the advantages at first. A main disadvantage that I personally have with living with my family is privacy. The main reason why I say it's privacy is because during certain times when I actually have exams both online as well as in person when I need to study, and I actually have to commute to my actual school, and literally I can't find any place to study. Literally, that's probably the most annoying thing that happens, because sometimes, depending on both the living circumstances that I put myself in as well as what happens in the general world in general, when it comes to the
illness,
not having that privacy, and people that are actually literally quarantined right now understand what I'm trying to say, because literally privacy doesn't exist that much anymore. It's very difficult unless you go extremely remote off the grid. Privacy is probably the biggest disadvantage. And the second disadvantage, and I'm actually going to talk about it, and the second disadvantage, and I'm actually going to end the video off on this, is basically losing out on the first freshman and sophomore year of a college experience. Now, I personally do not see myself thinking or having any type of FOMO when it comes to actually losing or missing out on any type of memories or experiences that I lost with either going straight into the job force, whether that be going to an actual four-year traditional institution and hanging out with the friends that I made in high school. It's sort of a blessing and a curse at the same time, because literally I don't know what can possibly happen if I altered my actual decision when I actually went to college. Every single one of the actual collegiate sports that I actually played in high school, and surprisingly I did get 2. People think I got 1, but I actually got 2. But literally I turned down offers. I turned down literally once in a lifetime type of deals. I literally turned down so much just so that I can support myself financially. I really don't know what could possibly happen. I'm actually ecstatic that I chose basically the decision or the route that I chose. Will I probably regret it in the next 2 to 3 years? Definitely not. I basically see life as something that you need to cherish, take it one step at a time, and literally take it literally head on, basically. I don't see myself regretting anything that I actually did in the past, and I would say that's how everybody should be. Are there regrets in life? Yes. Can I basically stop myself from making mistakes and doing what I basically regret and taking that back from the past? No, I can't do that. Will I? Probably not if I had an actual time travel machine. That's basically me. Not much to it. If I'm being completely honest, I actually had a great experience at my community college, and I thank every single one of the people that I was actually able to meet during that actual 2 years. Literally, they made my time there amazing. Through the people I dated, through the people that I met through actual tours, through the people that I actually traveled abroad with or traveled locally with. I literally can't thank you guys enough. And basically, that's it for the video, guys. I hope you got something out of this. I hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to like, subscribe. I post videos every single week, and I'm sort of trying to get into the rhythm of that. I hope you guys enjoyed. I love each and every single one of you guys. I'm gonna finish the rest of this bottle of water. Stay hydrated. Don't cough on people. God bless. That was actually kind of cool. I'm not gonna lie. I might try that next time. It's like, stay hydrated. Don't cough on people. Deuces. That sounded cool. And it just rolled off the tongue. I'm gonna do that.
I need some prune juice. Prune juice has been acquired.
I'm not going through the actual thoughts I'm thinking about. It's just I've literally just ran out of breath and I kind of spaced out. And basically, oh my gosh, every single time